What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Off Topic Podcast. Off Topic, where real life brings laughter, lessons, and uplifts. I'm Mario. I got with me today Ronnie.
Hey.
Stovall.
Hey.
Hayward.
What's up, everybody?
And Mama Kim.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
That was real dry. It was very dry.
So good morning. I know, because I'm just trying to, because baby Ronnie be coming from me. She said, why she look sleepy? I'm trying to make sure I don't look sleepy. I'm trying to adjust, baby.
We're trying to set you up for success.
That's why I said, Ronnie, she keeps me together. That's why I love her. I said, come on, Ronnie, get me together, girl. I love it.
And you looking good with the color and the face done up and the lashes.
What color was that again?
A 30.
A 30
honey.
And a 1B. So 30 is the brown, the honey blonde,
and
1B is the black.
Yeah,
come on. I knew what 1B was. That's black. But
and you looking
I know, because you used to be a little hairdresser in your former life, right?
Not me, but someone very close to me was. That wasn't my ministry. But yeah. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend?
Pretty good.
It's good. It was very chill.
Anything exciting happen?
I've been waiting for Mama Kim to come back and tell us about that tramp.
I just want to tell y'all, I'm more in love.
Okay, lover.
All right. Okay, to be continued.
Oh, it's it.
All right.
There it is.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, more in love. My God, today. All right now.
Is that why them cheeks is high on them bones?
Baby, they is high.
Them cheeks is high on them bones.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
I used to be a woman of the night, so I can't tell y'all my business today.
Ain't that it? Ain't that it? Ronnie, what'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
No.
You able to tell us?
I went, I had like a second and a third date-ish, kind of, sort of. I told her it wasn't a date, it was an outing.
With the guy that you told us about?
You took a picture with? You looked very happy.
Oh.
And I stayed on, listen, and I got home Saturday morning at 6:13.
Oh,
yeah.
It wasn't.
Yes, it was. 6:13 a.m. Don't say nothing except that it was.
No, it was time. We were just outing. Like, I don't want you to leave. It's late. We just kind of like, that's cool. It's cool, and it was cool. And then when I got home, my son said, "Oh,
okay."
You forgot the same clothes you had on last night."
Rightfully so.
Exactly. Well, that's good. It sounds like that's promising. A second and a third.
Okay.
Outing.
I love that word.
That's a good one, Ronnie.
We'll see.
Okay.
He's cool, though.
That's good.
He's cool.
Good.
Awesome.
Stovall?
I've been tank tripping it. I'm on vacation / bereavement right now. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a celebration of life. Actually, it was pretty different. It's something that I want to ask you guys about.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys ever been, shout out to my cousins in the St. Louis area. Have you guys ever been to a Catholic funeral?
I've never. No.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very, 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 very different. You're gonna definitely come out of there with some mega knees because you're gonna be up and down and up and down and up and down, and you're gonna be chanting some stuff. But I drew the line at drinking out that cup after the 200 people that was in front of me. I said, that's a hard no for me, but it was different. So yeah, maybe that's something we could talk about, different religions, because I have never in 43 years ever experienced that. I didn't even realize my cousins were raised Catholic, Black Catholic. And so yeah, it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, I think even more interesting is like where we draw the line. No, I'm not going to drink after 200 people.
Baby, listen. I said the poly grip. I mean, it could be like poly grip, residue.
I felt like he was leaning toward, you've done things beyond that.
You never know.
That supersedes that.
Yeah.
Nah, it's good.
Chanting. What was y'all chanting? Because I need to. What was the chant?
Right. No chant. They were probably just like reading the like their
hymn.
Okay.
What are they called?
Like in their hymnals, like the little verses.
Yeah, it's not. It's you chant. It's like a call and response. It was very.
Rengekyo.
Wait a minute.
Come on, Tina.
I'm on Tina for sure.
Wow.
But yeah, it was interesting. So just kind of been tripping it around the close little states.
Okay, well, again, sorry to hear about your loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hayward, what you been up to?
Auntie?
Nothing. Just hung out this past weekend. A couple of friends were in town. So yeah, that's it. Realized that, 42 is an age that you can't do like you used to do. So yeah.
Yeah. You can't be out all hours of the night and then try to recover. I mean,
That's why you just stay where you at instead of going.
Right. Oh, okay.
On your outing, of course.
until the dawn. Yes.
Exactly. My God. Listen. Well, at least you were
the outings are real.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Good. Well, that's good. Well, now you know, Hayward. So you got what, a one night minimum, maximum?
Well, no. I mean, I can do multiple nights. It just depends on what's going on. Because I felt fine. There were no hangovers or anything like that, but just a little sluggish. That's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I go balls to the wall, so it's
maybe.
I don't be sluggish. I just be out of commission till about 6 p.m. Then I'm ready.
I've learned from you. I've learned what not to.
These are facts.
Listen.
Did you have a good weekend?
I had an amazing weekend. Yeah. What did I do? Oh, well, I had a great weekend. Celebrated my anniversary. My anniversary was Thursday. And then Wednesday, though, was kind of starting my weekend. We went to go see Megan, which I will say was a great show. I mean, high energy. She interacted real well with the audience. It was, from start to finish, it was a great show. I was very, very not surprised, but I was just happy with the outcome of it. And then went to dinner on Thursday. Saturday, we took basically I would essentially call it a day trip. So we went to Vegas and then to see Tony Braxton and Cedric the Entertainer, which was a very good show. They had better chemistry than I thought they would, and it was just good all around. Came back yesterday, went to go see The Quiet Place.
How was that?
I enjoyed it. I think you should probably ask Mr. Producer how he enjoyed it, since half of it he was asleep on. However,
don't do Bill like that, Bill. Yeah. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I mean,
I have a question when you're done, Hayward.
He has a podcast he's producing. He has a few different streams of income, and he's married. That is a full load. You welcome, baby.
No, you're right. While you're right, he was also, that was happening before all the other things too. Like he was falling asleep beforehand, right?
It's called build up. Build up.
He was falling asleep before he had all those things going on.
Yeah.
In his defense, he was in his defense, he was very tired. So yeah, he has been working overtime lately. So yeah, I can understand. But so it was a good weekend. Good weekend. Oh, that was such a great day. I remember that day like it was yesterday. I really do. It's because it was a good feel good weekend. Honestly, it was, we had people come in from all over. Actually, everybody just about came in from all over, and the energy was good. It was just a good weekend. Everybody was happy, and it was I wish I could bottle that feeling up.
I love it.
Because Kim told me about it when she was already there. So
I was drunk.
But was that your fault?
It was my birthday, and I didn't spread out my happiness. My happiness all in one day, and I could not drink.
She was drunk. She was drunk because I think we went out that Thursday for her birthday, and people were buying her drinks and everything like that, and she didn't know when to say no. So she felt like any drink that was bought for her, she had to drink. I think Pete even had one point said, "Don't you take another drink."
Not try to put her on restriction.
You know, you got to parent these parents sometimes.
Yeah,
I double fisted too.
Double fist,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, she was wasted. Oh. But it was nonetheless, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Again, I don't know. My cousin didn't tell me till she was already down there, so I don't. I wasn't.
Ooh.
Yikes.
But then when my two faves come to town and my cousin's like, "You've been summoned, they want to see you," I stop whatever I'm doing. But I'm like, I just didn't, you know what? I'll fly because I feel like the lump is in my throat and I feel something a little bit. So, and it's
the descriptors for me.
Right. It's a trigger. It's a trigger.
My God. Oh, my apologies. My apologies.
Yes.
Lord. And we must say happy belated birthday to one of our viewers, Marcus. He had a birthday yesterday.
Happy belated birthday, Marcus.
Happy birthday, boo.
June 30th, his birthday. So he
season in effect.
Had a good, nice little birthday weekend when I talked to him. So that was good to hear.
Mario, I have a question really quick though. You said Toni Braxton and Cedric. Is she doing comedy? Did I miss something?
No, they called it Love and Laughter. And
okay. Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. We said they be good together. I was like, is she doing comedy? Okay.
No, it was good though because they kind of switched off. So I didn't know if she was gonna perform and then he do it or vice versa. But they, she did a little thing, he did a little thing, they did a little thing together. She came back up. It was really good. Of course, she only sang like the I guess her well-known hits and stuff like that. So I would love to see her again where she may sing some of the B-side songs and stuff like that. But it was still good. Good to see her. I've never seen her in concert before, so it was good.
Okay.
Did she perform that long as I live?
That's how she closed the show with that. Because I think that's probably outside of Unbreak My Heart. That's like one of her, maybe like her urban biggest hit, honestly. Because I know, but it's a big hit for her. So she looked amazing. I
would love to see that show. Yeah. Was the sisters there?
I didn't see them. If they were there, I didn't see them. They wouldn't know her background singers or nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I don't think any of them do background for her anymore.
Oh, that could be, she probably wasn't paying good, so they had to vacate. Anyway, glad to hear everybody had a good weekend. So let's get into this first clip.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, sweetie. What's up?
Are you having a rough day?
Yeah, honey, it's a little rough, but I'm gonna be okay.
Okay. Well, can I pray for your heart?
Yes.
Is that okay?
It's okay.
God, I pray that you help Mommy. She's finds joy, Lord. I pray that she has a good day and we listen what she says so she doesn't have a hard time singing it, Lord. I pray that Daddy helps her and we help her, Lord. I pray that you take away all our anger, Lord. I pray that she doesn't have a rough day every day, Lord. I pray that we help her while she's cleaning, Lord. In Jesus' name, amen.
In Jesus' name, amen. Thank you, baby.
No, she been doing something good. She put that in that baby.
Yeah. Now I'm just gonna jump in. I saw this clip maybe the other day, or maybe a few days ago. But while I think the sentiment is beautiful, I feel like it's staged. I'm sorry, I do. I just honestly feel like it's staged. I don't think it's 100% genuine. It could be, but I just feel like I don't feel like it is.
I will say that there is a lot of that going on, though.
Mm-hmm.
People are, creating these stage situations just for the sake of possibly potentially going viral.
Right.
So it very well could be. But it's still a feel good moment, for me. I don't know. I'm not a parent, so I don't know. I probably would break down crying though, if something like that was to happen. I don't. Stovall, what would you do if little JT did that for you?
I was just sitting over here trying to hold back these tears because he does. It's so crazy. I've kind of parent and grandparent my own way. So one example of what I do. Unlike his mom, he has his own room and he's in there, and I'm not about to keep getting up and down and up and down. And he's 3, but it's just the way I parent. I'm an independent type of parenter, and so I yell from my bed and I say, "Duty, are you safe? Jeremiah, are you safe?" And so they're just sponges. So whatever you put in there, they're gonna bring it back to you if that's true. That's what that's why I said, "Good job, Mom." But I noticed that I must have got into my show and I hadn't said it, and so he hurry up and ran in there, and he has so much. He's just theatrical. He's like, "My G, are you safe?" I said, "Oh yes, baby, I'm safe." He said, "Okay." He said, "I'm going back to my room now." So just little moments like that. That's not as touching as that, but it touches me because it just allows me to see that what I'm pouring into him and the standards that I'm setting, he's picking up on it. So yeah.
That's good. That's sweet. You look at you.
Yeah.
Sentimental everything.
It's crazy. Abrian taught me how to live, and this little boy just changed. Abrian changed my life, and this little boy taught me how to live. So it's crazy.
That's an interesting perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Mama Kim, I know your sensitive self. I'm sure that
I was like, "Fuck you, Hayward," because I'm over here crying. If it was fake,
no, and don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's why I said the sentiment is there. I think that's adorable. But it feels staged. I'm just That's all.
Baby, because I think about when I raised my kids, and now that I have grandkids. Now that oldest grandkid of mine used to be like that, but she ain't like that no more. Baby, but I had her when she was a little baby until she was 6, 7 years old. So that love and Grandma, you okay? And Grandma, let me give you a hug. And Grandma, I love you so much. Baby, she turned 8. Baby, she turned 8. She made a video. She said, "My grandma with that rah-rah telling me to go cut the grass." I said, "Hello? He's the 3-year-old grandbaby. This 8-year-old it's cray. But at 3, she used to love on me. I go back and look at pictures of her, and I always had her and all them things, but now she's her own person. So she don't think like that. And Devin was the same way. He'd be like, "Grandma." Now he'd be like, "Girl, bad." I'm like,
Devin he got his own thing going. He don't.
What happened? But then my youngest granddaughter, she is like that. She when I listen to how she even talked to her mama, she but she a manipulator. But when she ain't manipulated, she got this sweetheart "Mommy, it's okay. God got us." And I'm like, "Oh my God." But then in a second breath, "Who you talking to? I beat you up. I'm gonna punch you." I'm like, "Oh, she's so ratchet."
Life influences kick in.
I was like, "Ooh," but just thinking about Kim, what you just said is the thing that I always think about. Having my children saved me. I think different now that I got grandkids. Mm-hmm. I don't hit on them because they be like, "Oh, you soft." Pierre called one night "I'm gonna tell Devin what you." I said, I'm not that grandmother, but I was that mama, but I'm not that grandmother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk to them "Oh, you made an accident. You didn't want to eat all your food, okay?" But I didn't raise my kids like that, so it's different.
Improved model. You're an improved model.
I feel like
improved model because a couple of times that we called her had a little situation going on over here. We needed the old grandma. Listen, eat this food. We ain't got no choices. Eat this food.
No, did y'all get him what he like?
No, I didn't. I didn't grow up being able to eat what I liked. I had to eat what was served.
Okay. No, I'm a different kind of grandma. I make sure if they want Salisbury steak, it's a Salisbury steak in the freezer. I don't eat that. But if that's what they want, I'm going to get them what they want to eat.
Oh, you do that for Jeremiah Stovall?
Yeah, kind of half and half. Jeremiah is super funny on texture. Like, it's crazy. So I try to find a balance or a compromise, and then I try to introduce something. So like, you got to have a little bit of this, and then you can have the rest. So yeah, you got to understand when we were parenting, we were just mimicking what we knew, what we've seen. Now we've had time to say, okay, did that work? Was that the best way? Like, and new and improved model of a car. They're like, okay, these were the specs. These were the feedback we got off the surveys. Let's make a new model. So
that's right.
That's a good way to put it. Because I remember those days, and I won't say with the line, but there was a certain line that she always used to say to Aubrion, and I was like, seriously? Yeah.
I would never with my grandson.
Yeah. What you say, Ronnie, about that? I'm sure that pulls on your heartstrings as well.
A whole lot. I will say with Kim and Mama Kim, though, my mom, because I get on her all the time, I'm like, this is like, I like for them to mess up so I could be like, oh, she's about to get on you. And she doesn't. And I'm disappointed because what's going on right now? I don't even understand. And she's like, it's just different. I can't explain it. She's like, I love you. You're my only child. I love you. She said, but them grandbabies, she said, I cannot explain it. It's just something, it's a totally different kind of love that I can't explain. And they have my heart. I mean, when I say have my heart, I'm like little stuff. Like I'm getting on them and she's like, they're just, when they were smaller. He's just a little boy trying to find his way in this world. You gotta have patience. Where is this patience? When did you learn this? Where was I? What's going on? Mm-hmm. But to the video, kids know. They know. And I don't know how they know, but my God, they know. Just they know when to come right in. They know when stuff is bad, even if you try to hide it from them. And they just know what to come in and say or do just to make everything okay. I can't even explain it. Like I can't. So they know as much as they get on my nerves.
That's right.
I love them kids. Like I love them kids. Like to the point where if I have friends who have lost children, like you see posts on Facebook and stuff, and I will cry for these people. Like I know they're kids, but I guess in my head I'm just thinking I can't even imagine. Like I can't, and I pray to God that's something I don't ever have to go through. But I'm like, I can't. My God, I can't imagine. Like even just looking at them, like, because I'm in my head, like, how did you even get up today? How did you, like, I don't know. My air is those kids.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So I know I get
different type of battery pack.
So bring it down because I get crying about the kids. City came here earlier. Did you set up or what's next to Purdue? I said, just give mommy a minute. We going, okay? I'm gonna set it up. You just gotta. Now he says, "Come on, muchacha, pull it together." And I'm like,
when I tell y'all the ham stay on her head, that's an understatement.
Pull it together, muchacha. Okay, I'm gonna sit just a minute. Just I don't know. It's something. It's life changing. It's life changing. So kids know.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm gonna take you guys' word for it. I don't think I want my life changed to that extent.
I second that.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I obviously I see it has done wonders for you all. Yeah.
So I want to bring the guys in. I have a question about Hayward.
Real quick, not it's done wonders for you all. Oh, wait a minute. Shit, wait. Okay, sorry.
What's your question?
So I have a question for you about the staging. Mm-hmm. So in today's world, 2-part question. In today's world, with all the negativity, with all of the lost hope, with all of just the lost faith and just how humanity is going right now, I know sometimes when we say different words, we immediately go to a negative depiction of it or a negative connotation, I guess, for it. So what if she did stage that because of the lost humanity or the lost hope in today's world? Would that be a bad thing or a good thing?
It'd be a good thing.
Be a good thing. Yeah. I think it's beautiful. My comment in saying that I felt like it was staged was just an observation, because I read her commentary on it, and I think she said that, I was about to make a TikTok or something about my day, and I had such a rough day, and then my baby walked in, and it's like, so that led me to feel like it was staged. That's the only, yeah.
Hey, I guess my thing sometimes is like, why do you have your camera on? You capturing this. That's how I feel sometimes. I mean, granted, I thought it was a feel-good moment. I appreciated it and all that kind of stuff. And so just not even just in this particular situation, but just in other situations, I'm like, well, why would you think to have your camera on right now? Or immediately this is happening. Let me record it. That's the only thing that sometimes makes it seem less genuine. But nonetheless, to your point, it does bring back faith in humanity and all those things that seem to be lost now. So for that, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I agree with that too.
All right.
Like, I guess I know they put everything online today. I get that. But I think some moments, even if you're having a bad day and you want to vent, I'll go in my room and I'll just talk out loud to God or vent that. But that's not something that I want to be like this doing. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. Some things aren't for everyone.
Is looking on camera and cry. I mean, I've done it on here, but that's different. It's not like I'm like,
that's
let me set up my phone and do a Tyrese. I'm not trying to do that.
Not Tyrese.
Ooh, now you're bringing out the expert names. Lord, I'm tired of him hollering.
I'm not trying to do that. Like us talking about stuff that's natural, but I never understood that. I don't know. I hate the whole camera thing. I mean, it's good for some things, injustices and things, but also when you see someone being hurt, it used to be, let me see how I can help them. Now it's let me just stand back here and nobody's just like, I don't.
Yeah. But anymore, though, to your point, though, I think that it's almost like a twofold. You need to cut your camera on this to before you give them help, because you need to be able to record the whole situation. And so, because you never know what the outcome of it may be in certain situations, depending on the situation. And it's unfortunate that we are living in those times.
Yeah.
But capturing it, and I get that. But then maybe not necessarily post it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now that part I agree with. I agree with that. But then you think about it too, how many lives she probably touched in posting that, like Kim on here, can't keep it together, and so.
Okay, face. I see it on clip face. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Think of all the other women or and even men that may have seen that and, it really touched them. So from that standpoint, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Definitely. Yeah.
All right, let's get into this next clip.
As you're sitting there, the fact is that his big kill on the black people is the millions of people that he's allowed to come in through the border. They're taking black jobs now, and it could be 18, it could be 19, and even 20 million people. They're taking black jobs, and they're taking Hispanic jobs, and you haven't seen it yet, but you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you.
He's a clown. He is.
Period. Oh my God!
Like it's.
I want to ask you guys just an off-the-wall question, and I just want your honest opinion. This is a trick question. Do you guys think that Trump is smart?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think so.
Yeah,
he definitely knows what he's doing, and he's
not a dumb person.
He's been scamming people his whole life, just getting by.
That is very true. That's very true.
He's very smart.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what you guys will say here.
No. And the thing about it, he knows how to use people to get.
He's very divisive, and he knows that. He knows his rhetoric, so he's very aware.
You'll be surprised how many people out of emotion answer that. They're like, "No, he's stupid," and this, and I'm just like, I can't even discuss him with you if you think that this man is stupid. Like you can dislike the man, but I mean, facts are facts. This man is absolutely smart. Is he an idiot? Yes.
Intellectually, no, but is he smart at making people do what he wants to do and getting by on, being a shitty person?
Yeah.
He's been doing that. Absolutely.
Definitely. I mean, and here's the thing. My only thing with seeing that, and even like the fact that he felt so comfortable to make a statement like that,
and nobody stopped him.
I mean, so it's almost like, what's next?
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you have
the black jobs. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
but see, this is the downfall to that. Real quick, Ronnie, before you get started, the downfall to that is, and so then I don't know if you guys have been seeing like some of the posts and stuff like people been posting on there.
I love it. Yeah,
all of what's the black job? But at the end of the day, y'all are out here trying to make fun at what he said, but really look at what he's saying. It's offensive, but people out here making fun. Oh, I guess I got to go to my black job. I'm like, he really being very degrading to people, and then y'all turning around making a joke. You should be outraged.
What what we gonna be when he talking about a black job? We gonna be out here picking cotton while everybody like, oh, he's just
yes, and I'm not built for that. I'm not built for that.
I am telling y'all, read that.
Yeah,
look up Project 2025 and read it. It's out there, but they know a lot of people are not going to go and read that shit. Yeah. Read it.
Yeah, probably a lot of people like me. I've just been so agitated that like this whole year I have done nothing political because it's just
it's taxing.
It's taxing. It really is taxing.
Then even saying taking people over the border or taking black jobs, and I even hate to turn it this way. And then he says and taking Mexican jobs. Well, first, sir, the ones
Hispanic.
coming over the border, they are Hispanic. I'm sorry, those are the ones coming over, right? So I don't even know why you threw them in there. Yeah. But also for the ones like Mario said, that's making jokes of it, the jobs that they are coming over here getting, a lot of us think we too good to do them. So I'm confused.
I'm gonna tell you right now, because on a Sunday, it ain't nothing but to see some Hispanics out here setting up these houses, building these houses, doing roofing and everything like that. So if we were
grass.
I don't want to start that conversation because I think that goes deeper into the fact that historically, of course, obviously our people were brought over here, kind of set up in a like our generation and prior few generations before are kind of like used to just being here versus like people who actually immigrate here on their own who are trying to come here for a better life versus us who were brought here. So it's kind of like we're in the middle of, I think the drive is different in that way. I'm not saying it's okay, but I think the mentality of it is different that way.
So you're saying that it's okay to not...
I just said I'm not saying it's okay. I just said it's different.
I mean, because I'll be the first one to tell you, I'm not the one to be on the roof, doing shingles.
That's just not my, I don't...
Yeah, that's my thing. But
I can also, there's something else I can do outside of that. So I'm okay with that.
But if the rubber meets the road, I'll be on there roofing. But thankfully, I don't. That's not my ministry, and I don't have to do that. But I can see what you're saying. But I just think for me overall, it was just offensive that he would even felt so comfortable to say that, and nobody really stopped him, in any way, shape, or form. And so, Ronnie, what were you saying earlier about what took place today?
Oh, the Supreme Court ruled today 6-3. It was I can never say her name.
Sotomayor.
Yes, her, Kagan, and the pretty lady. She just the pretty black lady with the locks. She Jackson. I think.
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah.
They voted the right way on the side of the Constitution and democracy. The other 6 that were all appointed mainly by Trump or conservatives, all basically voted that moving forward, any president, as long as they do it, as long as it's done within their presidency, can get immunity. If you bribe somebody and take money from them, if you pay them after the fact, like after you're not president anymore, then you're immune because that was done afterwards. You didn't pay them while you were in office, even though you took the bribe. If you told the Navy SEALs, like if, say for instance, he's running, I run against him, and he's like, I want Sharon to be assassinated. So we're going to send the Naval 6 out to go ahead and assassinate her and her while her and her family are away. But it's done within his presidency. And since he's the president, he's going to get immunity for it. So it's literally anything.
So any crime that's committed during the presidency.
Any crime during the presidency.
But this wouldn't help his current case, though. Then, right?
Yeah, but I feel like I
think
that's saying.
that's why they did it. I think that's why they did it.
Yeah, I feel like it's building up to something like that. Yeah, where it's going to somehow, some way, it's building up to him being his recent convictions being excused some way, shape, or form. And then here's the thing: isn't like the president the first one to cast the vote during the election or something like that? Or don't they normally make a big deal about him going to the polls? Casting his
Not
vote?
the first, but yeah, they have to cast their
They
vote.
go the
But
same day.
I thought if you're a felon, you don't get to vote. So what is he?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He ain't been convicted.
Can I read to you guys? This is just what the 3 justices that voted the right way of the democracy, just how disappointed they were. So they put out a public statement. Today's decision to grant former presidents criminal immunity reshapes the institution of the presidency. It makes a mockery of the principle foundational to our it makes a mockery of the principle foundational to our Constitution and system of government, that no man is above the law, relying on little more than its own misguided wisdom about the need for bold and unhesitating action by the president. At 3 and 13, the court gives former President Trump all the immunity he asked for more because our Constitution does not shield a former president from answering for criminal and treasonous acts. I dissent. That's basically them saying that they disagree with that. And then they go on to say, when he uses his official powers in any way under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Orders to the Navy SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival, immune. Organizes a military coup to hold onto power, immune. Takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon, immune. Let the president violate the law. Let him exploit the trappings of his office for personal gain. Let him use his official power for evil ends. Because if he knew that he may one day face liability for breaking the law, he might not be as bold and fearless as we would like him to be. That is the majority's message today. Even if these nightmare scenarios never play out, and I pray they never do, the damage has been done. The relationship between the president and the people he serves has shifted. In every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's been trying to work towards.
It's a dictatorship, essentially.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
If he goes back into office, this is what's going to happen.
That's exactly, and that's why someone had put. I know I get to read comments. Someone had said what Biden needs to do since that order went through: executive orders that bars felons from running for the highest office, citing it being conflict of interest and the uprising of a criminal enterprise. He needs to do that now, because then that will fall on Trump, so he couldn't even do anything anymore.
Yeah, but getting
those executive orders.
Yes.
Yeah, and after, honestly, I hate to say this, but after Thursday's debate, a lot of people, I mean, they still riding with Biden, but they kind of shaky on what he's capable of.
Now, but if you listened, I will say this: I was very disappointed. I'm like, and I know that he has a stutter and stuff, but it's like you still had to be on your game. Now, what I will say is, while he was slow in answering, he answered. I can't tell you not one question Trump actually answered. And the very next day, they did a fact check on him. 37 times in that debate, Trump lied.
Of course.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I wish the people at this point, we need to stop trying to expose all these shortcomings that he has. We all know he has shortcomings, but at the end of the day, people are still
listening and trusting.
Yeah, they don't care about that. His core audience, his core following, he don't care. They don't care about nothing. They're gonna do whatever. He's the when I say the people's president, it's the people that he's the voice of those who probably weren't heard. I don't want to be rude to anybody, so I'll just say he's the president for those who normally probably wouldn't be seen or heard. The person that in school
just
probably
where it is
that you wouldn't even talk to, that kind of stuff, that's that kind of thing, And so, because we were in Vegas and some people walking around with their shirts on, Trump is my president and all that kind of stuff. And when you look at him, I'm like, I can see that.
And in his own words, what did he say? He loves the uneducated. He said that out his own mouth. So they love him back real bad.
So how smart are you then if that's who you choose to follow? I mean, he's been insulting to the people that are really following him left and right. And so what does that make? That makes them dumb as hell in my mind that you can follow him. But then he have to think back to like almost like a cult leader type of situation. Like if you remember, I don't know the guy's name, I don't remember, but the guy that had people drinking the Kool-Aid and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's a mind control, and he's definitely got that. I mean, he really could be a pimp out here in these streets, honestly.
I mean, he was a pimp to Hollywood. Then he was a pimp to the higher ups once he, conquered that realm. He is.
Yeah. So,
and they think everything he says is gold, because some of the other things that he said, I'm like, did not anybody catch that? He's like, yeah, because you have women out here getting abortions after the baby has been born.
Yeah. Sorry,
that's what he said.
That's what he said.
He repeated it like it was right. Yeah. Because they're killing babies after they had an abortion after the baby was born. That's not
right.
Okay.
Right.
And people were saying he was right. So I don't understand it. Like, okay, I guess.
It's sad.
You know what I like are those clips where the reporters go up to the different Trump supporters.
Yeah, I love those.
And they say something that the Democrat or another president said, or they say something that he said, and they'll misquote him, and they'll be like, "What do you think about Obama saying this or somebody saying this of Congress?" And they'll be like, "It's the stupidest stuff that I've ever heard, and that's why they shouldn't be in power." And then they'll play the clip of Trump.
And what's their response when they realize Trump said it?
Just crazy.
It's always something like, well, when he said that, he didn't mean it like that, or it wasn't like that, or that video is fake. It's always something.
Yeah.
Now I will say, and I probably should not have laughed, but it was a moment when Biden, he got the stuttering and he kind of paused for a minute and he finished and Trump said,
yes.
I don't even know what he just said.
And I don't think he did either. In which I was just like,
what?
It was sad.
It was sad.
Sad to see.
I just want to figure out why the world hates Kamala. What's her name? Kamala Harris. Yeah. Why do they hate her?
Like people are always gonna have something to say. I don't know why.
Like it's the same disdain that they have for Hillary, and it's just like it has to be the gender, because like why is it so heavy?
I'm sure it is.
He's not doing anything, and she's not doing anything. And why is it? What has Kamala done for us? When in any presidency, what really serious role does the VP have? What decisions does the VP make?
Because what was Joe doing when he was
exactly? What was Pence doing? What was like seriously? They don't like they didn't listen in history, obviously. But what are y'all expecting her to do? She doesn't have any authority to do much of anything.
Yeah.
Like we can't even trust her for 4 years. Like the hate is so.
Yeah.
They just don't.
I think behind the scenes, she has been doing something as it relates for the African American community, something that relates to mortality. I forgot what it's not infant mortality, but something like women being pregnant, and I guess let me look it up to the right way to say it, because I know she has been working with that. But of course, that's not something that that serves the I guess the entire country. That's more like
but again, like everyone said, what VP has just been in the forefront, just doing all of this, and we're just like, oh yeah,
right.
I don't
They're
think
really just supposed to show up and do shake hands and things like. They don't have any they don't have anything. They don't have any say so.
Maternal mortality crisis. That's what she's addressing. Yeah. But of course, that doesn't.
What is it?
Mortality.
The maternal
mortality crisis.
Yeah. Talking about like the percentages of Black women who don't get fair treatment, like during pregnancy and all of that.
Oh, okay.
So of course it's an isolated group she's helping, but so of course not everybody's going to really lean into that. But to your point, yes, most vice presidents don't do anything. It's almost like and
I won't say that they don't do anything, but they're not the ones who are driving policy and all of that. Like I don't think so anyway. But
and I guess in reality, I mean, look at it. The president has to jump through so many hoops to get policies, approved and everything like that. So it's funny to me how but some people expect
the vice president.
Mhm.
To be doing such
Do more than the president.
Yeah, but the president has to go through so much red tape to get things done, especially if the people ain't really on board with that, because I was just, my God, I was just praying, and I'm still praying that old Joe come through before he leaves the office, if he happens to leave, and get these student loans taken care of.
And period. Come on, Joe. Yes.
You said, Joe, do something.
My God.
Right.
Listen, I'm on my knees every night for that.
Bankrupt Sally Mae, do something, do whatever you need to do.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly. But
I really believe Trump gonna get in. I really, really believe
that.
I
don't think that. And my mom said today, she was like, because history, that's just always been my thing. So she's like, I can tell you're upset about it. She's like, but just know we got a long way to. She said, and I refuse to believe that this is the end, that it's gonna be him. She's like, I know the God that I serve. She said, and I just refuse to believe it. He's not even a real Christian. So I don't even, you have to, she's like, we got a long way before November. And, they really can still bring people in now. People like to kind of take over, even though people's like, they can, it's too late. But really it's not, if you think about it. You
have until the, what is it called? Convention to really bring somebody in.
I don't know what
that's when it's announced. That's where it's announced who's the candidate for that.
They will have to do that, but they'll have to get the candidates together. And CNN did something where they had like 6 of them. I know it was the fine one from California. I can't even think of that man's name. P, if you could find a picture of his fine ass. That governor of California, mayor, governor, whatever fuck he is.
That's all you.
Gavin, yes, for Gavin. That's his name. Beautiful Gavin. That's what I call him. And then
he's the governor of California, you said?
He's something of California. I don't know, baby fine.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you who I hate. I think he's handsome.
It just went from fine to handsome.
I'm gonna tell you who I hate that Joe made step down after those allegations, which I think they were false, because why has nobody came against him before? I think the one who we would have been looking at this, what's the name, would have been Andrew Cuomo, I guarantee it.
So this, I don't know, Gavin Newsom. That's who.
Don't do Gavin. I think Gavin is fine. And when he on there with his tie and stuff, between Gavin and my baby in Canada, what's the mayor or governor in Canada? He fine. So
I got today. Okay, I don't.
President of Canada.
He don't do it for me, but I guess we all like different things.
Hey, different strokes.
Listen. Okay, Gavin Newsom.
Oh, Gav.
All right.
I climb him. Okay. All right.
My God, today.
Okay.
All right. Let's get into this last clip.
Adoptive parents of 3 children are in jail today after Kanawha County deputies said 2 teens were found locked inside a barn. Hannah Klein breaks down the investigation after deputies say they received a 911 call from someone concerned about the kids.
A stunning find in Sissonville has led to the arrest of 2 adoptive parents.
You're being charged with a felony, child neglect, creating risk of injury.
Donald Lance and Jean Whitefeather now in jail as their children are now with CPS. It started on Monday when deputies got a call just before 6 o'clock in the evening. The 2 children were being locked in a barn at this home on Cheyenne Lane in Sissonville.
They weren't able to locate any guardians or parental figures or anybody around the residence or the barn, and started having a conversation with 2 children that were inside the barn.
Deputies eventually forced their way into the barn, where they said they found a 16-year-old girl and 14-year-old boy inside a 20 by 14-foot room. Investigators say the teens had no way to get out of the shed, with no running water, no bathroom. The girl told deputies their parents had brought them food around 6 o'clock that morning, but said her and her brother weren't allowed in the house and were locked in the barn for long periods every day. Eyewitness News spoke to neighbors who were afraid to go on camera, but claimed multiple families called police about the children's safety several times, and they are thankful they are now safe.
Well, it's a pretty bad case. It's in any type of situation like this, it's not really comparable. A horrific condition, it's just not how you want or how you would even expect children to be raised or been taken care of.
Lance and Whitefeather eventually showed up at the home. They're now charged with child neglect, creating substantial risk of injury. The mother admitted the children were left in the shed, but reportedly told deputies they, quote, liked it.
They're trying to, get the children back in better living conditions, better placement, and the detectives will continue to investigate and build this case.
In Sissonville, Hannah Klein, Eyewitness News.
That shit pisses me off when it comes to them babies. That pisses me off. That pisses me
16
off.
16 and 14. Oof.
So I think they adopted the total. They had the total of like 5 kids total.
Okay.
But these were, it's really. I guess what bothers me about it is that in my mind, I feel like you adopted these kids with the intent of doing this to them, if that makes sense. Like it was premeditated to me. Like you knew that this is what's going to be the outcome. You were going to treat them like this. I mean, I don't know how many Black people in West Virginia anyway, but so you already, I'm like, wow, why would y'all do that?
Why you still get a check?
Yeah. Just to really treat people like that, just rather let them stay in the system or what have you. And then, the system enough is bad, but why put them through that?
They have already probably been taken from horrible circumstances because they're already in the system. You're just gonna drag that alone. That's why I tell people all the time with the whole, I'm not to get on the abortion thing, but it's like, well, women should still have kids and just give them up for adoption, or they can go in the system. When they go in the system, that is not always a unicorn and fairies story.
Yeah, probably majority of the time.
It's not like that for everybody.
Majority of the time, it's not.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I worked in a hospital that kids were adopted, foster care, all that, and them kids are not treated good.
Really?
Yes.
That shit breaks my heart. I know you might get some that may be okay, but for the most part, it's not rainbows and unicorns for everybody. Everybody does not get that.
It's a stream of income.
Yes.
Even when you adopt them, you get paid for that?
Not necessarily, but
you get the benefits. You get the state benefits. Yeah. You get state benefits for a while.
Look at that lady. She had a fur thing on her. What's the temperature?
That raccoon she had on.
But when you think about it, I worked at a hospital, and the crazy part for me, when I really recognized mental health for Black people, it was a hospital full of Black children in there that have been abused, left in a closet. This one girl, she was a Black girl. She was in a foster home, and she got pregnant, 14 years old, by her boyfriend's dad. And I was like, and when I met her coming through our cafeteria line, I said, "Oh, you one of the staff?" She looked it like she was 27, and she was 14 years old, and had a set of twins. Matter of fact, she had a baby by the daddy and a baby by the boyfriend. So she had like a kid one year and then a kid the next year. They never removed her from their foster home, though. I'm like, how is this girl but where we gonna put her? It was so much trauma.
Who's gonna foot the bill for the children? For her too, but now 2 additional children. It's just like it's just a modern day prison system, just a little different. You have your highlighted cases that work out, and then you have the majority of the cases is just like housing.
That's right.
It's horrible.
And people get paid for it. And it's not like they get paid a nice little pity.
My argument will be is why are we not looking further into the law enforcement? Why were you not out there sooner? Why didn't you do a little bit more investigation? Looking into them, and then the people in the neighborhood or the surrounding people, like just with certain kids, just with your neighbors, you might not know them, but you kind of know their routine, right? And you might not even know the people. So it's just like little stuff like that slips through the cracks. Just
but I've seen a kid out there playing, but I ain't seen that kid in about 2 weeks. You ask your kid, does this kid go to school with you? It's little things that you would think to me to ask. I would think,
I'm gonna be honest for myself. I don't think I've pay attention like around here. So like I know that there are kids like in the neighborhood, but I couldn't point them out or anything like that. So if I did see a child and then didn't see them, I honestly don't think I would notice it just in this setting. And I don't know if it's just because of where I am out here or what, but yeah. So I can see how it can.
I can see that's fair for you, Hayward, because like you said, you don't have kids. That's
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
I don't have kids, but you know what? My neighbor got 3 kids, and you know why I pay attention? Because one of the kids, they Mexican. Sorry, but one of the kids a redhead. So I'm like, damn, that's weird to me. So it was noticeable. So if I don't see him, I'll be like, what happened to the little redhead little boy that you had over there? So when I see him, I'm like, okay, it's still 3 kids over there. But in my neighborhood, I wouldn't necessarily know all the kids, but my neighbor kids.
Your neighbor kids, yeah.
I do know, like, okay.
But they just said that the authorities were out there previously, right? Yeah. So it's just like.
But that, if you listen to him, he was kind of, they're trying to get the kids back after they get the circle. Like, what? Are y'all serious?
Yeah.
Like, y'all would let them kids go back to this house because technically they are their kids because they adopted them.
Yeah.
I still have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. And Lord, please forgive me because I know when kids get adopted into good homes and they are treated right, I promise you, I don't care what their race is. But I feel like the fad nowadays is a white family adopting their black kids. And now we got pages and that's what is it? How do they put it? Posting or whatever it's called, whatever is like the thing. And granted, everybody looks happy. So I'm not saying anything's wrong with that because as long as they're taken care of, perfect. But it's like, are you doing it for the right thing or are you doing it so we can go ahead and get this page up here and do this? And now we're getting sponsorships and we're getting, again, not everybody, Lord, don't try to come down my throat when you watch this. I'm just saying, it seems like that's the thing to do now, which bothers me some. If you're doing it for the right reasons, okay. But if this is just so, I don't know. Y'all know what I'm saying.
So I have a rebuttal, but Mario, you got one?
Go ahead.
So, cousin, my rebuttal to that or my question to you for that would be, what is the rate? What is the numbers of the kids that the race that's the highest race for kids in that adoption realm? Is it black kids?
It is.
And like getting adopted by white.
No, just how many kids are misplaced? Misplaced. Is it blacks?
It is.
Is it children of color, not black? Is it children of color?
I think children of color are probably more. I don't know. I can look that up, but I know that there are some white ones that get, some Caucasians that get, mistreated too and misplaced.
So just logically, if the children of color have the highest percentage in that area, they would need adopted. You know what I'm saying? Now, going on the flip side, who has the extra income to bring in the extra children? Right. Majority of the time.
That's right.
The white ones normally.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm saying. Sometimes we look at stuff and we go with the negative portion of it, which exists. Totally with you. Totally, just like we were talking about with Pride Month. Some things become the fad. You know what I mean? So but sometimes when we go in and just look at the numbers.
Look at the reality.
What is the numbers or the rate of the most misplaced children? What color are they?
So
I didn't. I'm sorry, Maria, just real quick, and I promise, and I'll be quiet. I didn't always come off negative with that. It wasn't until all the whole Black Lives Matter movement and all that when everybody was protesting. Do you guys remember cutest little boy with he had a little pea coat on kind and had the hat on and had the thing giving people hugs? He had the little hat on. His adopted parents, 2 women, they were white. It was him. I think it was another black kid. And I think they had a couple Hispanic or something. And both of them were mental. Drove all of them off of what's name and killed them, but had been beating them. That's why they had been going around different places. Like they kept moving and moving and moving. Then when they were basically people finally caught up with them, she drove them all off of what's name and killed all of them. So just, I mean, that had me like, was this because when you saw him, you know, taking pictures and stuff, everybody seemed happy. He's out there giving hugs to people, holding up a sign, you know. Then they had their whole little Facebook and Instagram pages, and everybody's happy, and you're beating them and stuff, and then you killed all of them and yourself.
And this is probably a bad example, but when people go to rescue a dog, just your personal opinion, rescue a pet, do you pick the nice, prettiest one that looks like it's in the best condition, or do you usually get the underdog that pulls on your heartstrings? People, which one would you get?
I would pull on. I would choose the one that probably pulls on my heartstrings.
Yeah, and I just think that's human behavior in most situations. I don't know why people adopt children. I don't know why people foster, but I think that the mindset might be, whose life can I have the biggest impact on?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that way too.
So if it's a celebrity and they go get black children, I hate that they always get a black rap. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it could be 50-50. It could be a political play. I mean, image play, or it could be just truly when that person was standing there like, okay, who would I have the biggest impact on? Their life, you know? So I just like to ask that, so throw that out there, because you never know anybody's motive. I think it's a 50-50 situation.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I was saying, you know, this information, I don't know, Hayward, I see you were looking something up, so you might have some more current, but this is from 2021.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's saying that, you know, African-American kids make up 14% of the total child population and make up 23% of children in foster care, whereas there are more white children in foster care than any other race, which is surprising when you consider white children make up a whopping 50% of all children in the United States. So they're saying that white children are underrepresented, and yet black children are overrepresented. So to your point, and then also maybe to your point as well, Ronnie, the reason why that they may get adopted more is because that's what is put out there for people to feel like, hey, these kids are, you know, make it seem like there's more of African Americans in the system.
But I think people know that, like, I don't know. That's hard. I understand what you're saying, but I think just based on where you live too, I think it's all about that. Whatever city or, you know, county you live in, I think it's going to be different. So
true. So how many? Go ahead.
Oh no, I just said I think that plays a role into it as well. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, how many? We're talking about West Virginia. So how many black kids you think were really in West Virginia? And so in this case, I think, Ronnie, your theory ring true, because like I'm sure there was probably more white kids you probably could have grabbed for lack of better words.
Yeah,
but you chose them, you know, 5 black kids to adopt. I mean, and then to treat them like this, like I can't help but to think it was intentional. And
I know everybody's not, but it just seems like that. It's like now we know some celebrities who have adopted black kids, and I think that with them, I probably don't think it's really, because they're probably like, you know, listen, I got this. Let me help somebody who can really. But then I think there are some other ones that the first thing they do is create a page, and it's the family page, and it's the, you know, and it's like
for the optics. Yeah.
Okay. You know. Yeah.
I have a question for you, because I know Mario and Hayward, previous conversations you guys have already said no, absolutely no. But what if something came about where you have to mandate it, all of us have to foster or adopt a child? Would you adopt a white child or a black child? Would you take only one, or would you take multiples?
I would definitely only take one. I'm starting with one. I'm starting with one, and I would prefer to take a black child, just because I feel like that would be, it would make the most sense to me, like in terms of being like knowing what to do for the most part. Like I feel like the transition would be smoother. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I think I would take 2. I would take 2, and I'll probably take a black child and a white child. And my reasoning for taking a white child would be, of course, the natural choice would be to take a black child, because to your point, Hayward, it is easier. but I would take a white child as well, because I would want to show them a different perspective. You know what I'm saying? So that when they go out into the world, they'll be equipped with a different mentality. Going into the world. So that would be my own thing. And then I would choose 2 kids because I don't like the idea of being an only child. So that's why I would choose 2.
We are truly best friends. That's my mindset too. You made it nice. I would be selfish with it. I would choose 2 just because I know I'm not maternal. I'm not going to get down there and play with you. So I would choose 2 just so that I can have that built-in playmate. I can make it sound good, but it's just what I've thought about. If I were to adopt or foster, I would get 2, and I would actually get a black and a white, because kind of like what I just said, I think I would have more of an impact on the white child, so I would feel like I did this for a reason. With the black child, even though I know I would be making an impact in that child's life because it would be a different lifestyle for that child, I just think that it would just flow so easy and I wouldn't feel fulfilled, because I'm like, I didn't really do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go back out and pick up my neighbor's trash. It's not rewarding to me. You know what I mean? But so I feel like I would do black and white for that reason. But yeah. What about you, cuz?
What if you went in there to adopt and I'm gonna answer. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought of this though. What if y'all go in there to adopt and the one that pulls on your heartstrings happens to be, let's just say, it doesn't matter if they're white or black. The person that put on the kid that put on your heartstrings the most, you want to go with that one. But as you're going with that child, you find out they have 2 or 3 siblings too.
I gotta take them.
That's what I was gonna.
I gotta take them.
Separated.
Yep. I didn't went in there. I'm gonna come home. My husband's gonna be shitty as hell because I gotta take them.
Yeah.
You have a big heart.
I gotta take them.
Hayward, you would break them up. Hayward said you got a big heart.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no, I just said I'm not saying I would break them up. I probably wouldn't. I just probably wouldn't end up not like, because I can't say that I would, like, I didn't sign up for that. I'm not equipped to just automatically bring on 3 children. I'm just being honest. Like,
I get it.
I respect that. No, I respect that. I think honestly, I probably would take all the siblings as well, just because for that the stop and probably be complaining the whole time.
See, that's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't want to put them in a more detrimental situation.
If they say brother, sister, I'm not doing it, because one, like kids, period. Now, one question that you didn't ask him: how old would these kids be? If I'm taking a black and a white kid at the same time, they would both have to be babies.
Yeah, I would prefer babies, but that's the ones that are not plentiful. So
right,
it wouldn't be an older. I see my grandkids and seen them from birth to now. I wouldn't want a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 7-year-old, because they already kind of set in their ways. They will have to be 2 and under.
That's the majority of the people that go, which are why that age range is not available, because those are the ones that usually don't even make it all the way in. Those are usually, I'm telling you, it's like a market. It's like a human trafficking. Those are usually already gone because of that mindset. So,
yeah. I don't know.
Any child over 2, I might even go to 3, but anything any older,
I would go to 3. I would say 3 years old. I want 1 to 3. I don't want nothing. We'll be saying 12 months, 24 months. I don't. No, I want you. I want you to be able to verbalize.
12 to 24 is 1, 2, right?
So you want like 4 to 7? Then you say you don't want
no. 4 would be the oldest. 4 would be the oldest.
4 would be the oldest.
And
and what? 2 would be the youngest, or 3, like 3 or 4. That's all you got, because you said 12 months to 24 months. That's okay. You don't want
I meant to 12.
That's what I was saying, Hayward.
I know. I just think about it, and people still say they be 2 years old. How old is he? 24 months. He's 2 years old. But no, I can do the 2 years old. Basically, but I'm not getting up in the middle of the night. I don't want that experience. Getting up in the middle of the night, the crying, the whining. I don't want to do all that. So. I can handle doing the potty training and all that kind of stuff. I can handle that part, but I don't want to be, no.
And then my husband really gonna be mad at.
That's what you don't want.
I don't want it now.
You don't want to nurture.
No, I'm very nurturing actually, but But I don't want to do all that. No, because I remember Devin when our first experience with Devin, he was probably maybe 2 months old or something like that. And when I tell you that boy cried all night while his mama was at work, I mean, from the moment she left, I was like, oh my God, no, who signs up for this? No, I couldn't do it.
And then my husband's gonna be mad at me because I'm more than likely I'm not gonna foster. I'm gonna just straight adopt. So I'm not even gonna get the financial benefits of it because I don't want to get attached to something and it gets snatched away.
Well,
because
go ahead, because I have a question for you and I got a question for Mama Kim. I'm gonna start with you, Mama Kim. I don't believe that you would, if you went to adopt a child and they had siblings, you would just leave them there.
I don't think she would either. I think
it's something. It sounds good to say, but consider how emotionally you are. You would get there, see them. Look, you don't like dogs, but you can't stand to see Riley and Remy. Saying
exactly
abused. Oh shoot! We about to have the ASCAP. What's the organization?
What I'm saying. Listen, she can't see. She claims she's scared of dogs, don't like dogs. But in a minute, hey doggy, are you hungry? Hey doggy, you need this. So I don't believe that you would go there.
That's still different than a dog that's around.
Well, no, but my point is, she's stepping out of her comfort zone to do that. So if she went there and to adopt one child and they had siblings, she ain't gonna walk away and be like, hey,
I don't think she would either. I don't think, and I'm gonna say I don't think she would because how she just talked about a young lady that was pregnant that had them 2 kids. So if she was 14 or whatever she was and she had other siblings, Kim, you would have told her, go sit down. We going home.
Kim, when you keep saying your husband, so I was married, at one time. And working with these kids, I was trying to be a foster mother, and I was about to take like 5 kids home with me. I'm like, I think I'm on with Kim. That means my husband was like, "What?" I said, "They need a home, and they was abused, and they was this." And he said, "Huh?" I said, and then, but my own kids was like, "Mom, you ain't want to raise us," and I was like, "I want a second chance."
She said a do-over. We want a do-over.
I want a do-over. I'm sorry. And I was trying. I wanted to be up. I would start going to classes. I'm like,
no, that's great. That's very commendable. I love.
But guess what?
So Hayward, you would leave him there. You definitely as a hard.
I don't think I would take on more than I intended to. Like I just being realistic about the situation. Like it sounds good. Like you get there, they pull on your heartstrings. That's true. Oh, this feels good, but my the way my financials are set up, I can't take 3 children right now, like that, and that's just the reality of it.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm not gonna put myself in a bind because I've created, or you know what I'm saying? Like that just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
I could pack up 1 when we ready to go to London and shit. I can't be packing up 3. Or I could pack 1 and we can go to the airport, but I can't be.
Yeah,
that's what Hayward was like. Yeah.
I mean, but even that aside, even just just bringing in additional mouths to feed and people to take care of, that's another expense or multiple expenses. So you just have to be realistic about it.
I completely understand what you're saying because just switching gears just a tad bit. P and I was at the grocery store yesterday, and we saw this family like this. They had like 1 in a little carrier and 1 barely walking and stuff like that. And I was like, I said, well, why would they make that decision to have kids after kids? Kids are expensive. That was my first thought. And he politely tapped me on my shoulder and said, "So you thinking it from the wrong perspective. People that want to be nurturers and want that, they're thinking of, I want to bring a child in the world. This is what I want, this and the third." And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because I'm looking at, no, I'm not going to do this. But I will say though, in a situation where a situation where there's some kids that I feel like in the system, stuff like that, I think my perspective would be slightly different. And that's all I can say on that. Yeah. It would be slightly different, but I mean, I can say more, but I'm gonna leave it at that. And Mama Kim, I don't know what you're talking about, acting all sympathetic, because she say if something happened to her grandkids' mom,
they going to the States.
They're going to the States.
First of all, Mario, you and your husband could not deal with 1 kid.
No. No. I don't. Let's not say we couldn't deal. It was a choice.
Oh, copy.
Oh,
Y'all could not choose to deal with one child.
Correct.
I'm not going to do 3, and they already got their own mind.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. You have to, when you have, right now, if they came to stay with me right now, I already know they used to hiding food in their room. They used to not cleaning up after they sell. I don't care how much time I scream and holler. This is what they're already built used to. I would probably have to take a whole year off of work to get them in the mindset of don't give me a heart attack. How many times have I called you crying, found a piece of cheese under my carpet? Went in the daggone garage. It was a sausage sandwich under the daggone fire. I'm like, who does that?
Oh, but how do you gotta take a whole year to get them in the mindset to get them in the mindset?
Because it takes routine. Like, does she not lying? Like that takes routine to break a habit. Like that's a whole
That's a year. That's not no couple of weeks. This a year.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. I know that it takes the time.
Y'all be like, oh girl, don't answer her phone call. I can call y'all crying. She be okay. I'm built different now. I'm gonna break down, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna want to fight them. They're gonna try to beat me up in my sleep. No,
because I'm gonna tell you now, I'm going straight to social media. I went out with 1 and I came back with 3. I'm gonna have GoFundMe's in there. I'm straight going public with this shit because I'm not gonna adopt. I'm not gonna foster, because if second, next of kin, if the mother or the parent, whatever the circumstance, does what they're supposed to do, I don't want to invest. Like, I feel like, what am I trying to say? Mario, I feel like you were just in this situation, so I'm gonna tread lightly. And Kim, I feel like this is a situation you're talking about now. Yeah. I feel like when there is a possibility for your efforts to be undone, your level of
it changes your perspective.
Your perspective is changing. But when you feel like your efforts cannot be undone and it's final, I think that there's just a little bit more drive there for you. And so so I'm not going to do all of this to know that someone can come in and take these children. So I'm already going to cap my financial help not to foster. With adoption, I think all that you're going to get is that initial little money that the state builds up for people, and then you're going to have free insurance for them. So
well, let me ask you this though, Stovall. So you go down there, you see these kids, you went for 1, got 3, and your husband ain't on board with that. What do you do then?
That's gonna for this hypothetical,
because you kept saying my husband gonna be mad at me, but what if he say no, I'm not, hey, this ain't ma'am, no.
I'm gonna tell you now, that's hard because I just look at children different, so that's gonna be hard. So more than likely, unfortunately, I don't even know these children. I'm probably gonna pick the children's situation, or probably say, I got this. Just let me handle it, because I've already been in I got to handle this situation raising a kid at 16. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just going to have to try to find that drive. But I would, if he divorced me, I will honestly say if he divorced me and left me, it would be my fault. It would be a me thing.
And you'd be okay with that?
I wouldn't be okay, but I would have to.
Not okay. Not okay, but I'm just saying.
Right, but just like
I will go forward.
You would still do what you have to do for them kids, but you won't be okay.
Yeah, and it would be a trigger for me because of the naysayers that I've already had with raising Aubrian. So it would be a babe. We got this, but it's hard. Like, my godfather was in that situation. I mean, he was married to a woman, and then the grandkids came. Well, he had already raised 1 wave of grandchildren. You know what I'm saying? So then the second wave came, and he said, no, like, this is no. So it would be a selfish thing for me to do my husband like that, but majority of the time I would be in the wrong.
Having 3 ain't no punk bitch. I'm saying right now, I went from 1 to 3 over, and it wasn't. I mean, that's biological. I mean, I do it all over again, but I'm just saying. But it was like 3 under 2. I had the twins, and then a couple weeks later, Sydney turned 2. So
Oh wow.
Yeah, June. I had them June 2nd, and then Sydney turned 2 July 12th. Yes. So like right now, they're 14 and 15. Then he'll be 16 July 12th. Oh yeah. I'm carrying 2 bucket seats, and he holding on just to trying to keep up. Oh yeah.
So that's why I would not, you like you guys, you and Hayward, I wouldn't even get in that situation just because. But if something like we had to mandate something and I had to choose, I would just be like,
yeah.
So and I've done it. I've done it, Kim. That's why me and you, we already talked about this. If I could go back, Mario, don't fucking play with me.
No, I'm saying you don't what?
You know, I had them 3 grandkids and my man and my child. And guess who I chose? Them kids. And I was devastated.
And probably even more devastated because you kind of subconsciously know that your decision was not concrete or, definitive, because they can go back to mommy and you're like, why did I make the sacrifice? Which, Mario, you just kind of got out of that situation. You know what I mean?
I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
Completely understand that.
When you know it's just like my way or the highway, shit's easier.
It's a different perspective. And I've said that. P said that. Like we would have got Devin and kept him from when the first time he came until
now
the third.
It would be different.
It would have been different, but it is a different perspective when that hey, my efforts are not going to be.
That's right.
Treated the same.
You don't never want to say appreciated, but it does come to appreciation.
Yeah.
And
that's another thing that I want to. Mr. Producer, put this as an episode. Do people really do things and not want something in return? We don't have to answer this now, but I thought about that the other night. It was something that popped up. I'm like, is it really 100%? Just like, can people love unconditionally? Like really love unconditionally? So this is something I want to challenge you guys with. So future episode.
Do people do things without wanting anything in return?
Yeah.
Correct.
That's because really
I'm discussing right now.
Yeah.
She's just hypothetical.
Future. Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And the other one was, do people really love unconditionally?
Mm-hmm. Is that really realistic to love unconditionally?
Oof.
I don't know. That's interesting. I'd be interested to see what you guys' perspective is on that.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, all in all, I think that at the end of the day, unfortunately, it sounds to me like the Black kids are over publicized and there's not as many of them in the system as we would think because they're over publicized and stuff like that. But thankfully, that's not a mandate that we have to do it. Thankfully, I just don't know. I don't have the patience.
Thankfully, that's not a mandate.
I love the kids and everything like that. I don't have the patience anymore. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man of a certain age. I don't have the patience for certain things. I'm just like, And my husband, he don't. Listen, he ain't a man at a certain age, and he still don't have the patience. So,
my facts.
So it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
We're weary every day.
My hats off, but my hats go off to the parents,
chip by chip.
Absolutely.
Then my son say, "I guess I'm getting on your nerves." Yes.
So, Hayward, I do have a follow-up question, just randomly. So, if your mate came home and was like, "Hey, I think I want to adopt these 2 kids," what would your response be?
My response would be, why? What prompted you to do this? No, I'm serious. That's a valid question, right?
Yeah.
Like, I would want to know why, like where this came from. Like, I think that's very important.
Okay.
Would you?
But we would have a discussion. We would have a discussion behind it. You said, would I stay? Yeah. So in full transparency, I've thought about having kids, like going back and forth. So it wasn't something that was completely off the table for me. But I always felt like I would never want to just go along with, or want someone to go along with having children for the sole sake that I wanted them, because I would feel that person could potentially be resentful, or just not. They could check out at any moment if they didn't really want children. I don't think that's a compromise that you can make. Like if two people don't want children, or like if one person wants a child and the other person doesn't, I don't think you can truly make that compromise unless, you're just kind of like, I'm okay with it. But if one person is like, no, I do not want children, I don't think you can change their mind on that. Like, and I wouldn't try to change someone's mind on that.
I gotta give you some respective pushback because I honestly would say this. I don't want kids. I don't want kids. I don't want them. But if he said he wanted kids, I definitely would make that compromise. Probably motivated from the perspective of I want him to be able to carry on his bloodline, and everything like that. And so that would be my motivation. But like, listen, I want you to be able to do so. I would make. I don't want them, but I wouldn't. The kids would never know that, and I would never even have that conversation with him and be like, listen, I don't want these kids to set their mind. And my perspective would be fair. Because I even say that now, like I say that now and be like, listen, I feel like you really should have a child just because, I know that would probably make your dad elated and all that kind of stuff. And I would love to see, him carry on his bloodline and everything like that. But so I would make that sacrifice.
I want us to.
I get it because Tony has said the same thing.
Go ahead.
He said the same thing in the past. Like if you want a child, like let me know and we'll work it out. But I just wouldn't want that guilt on myself. Like if something happened and then it's like, like that's just how I view it. Like I just don't. Yeah, I'm not saying like anything like he would be malicious or anything like that, but I just wouldn't want to put that weight onto somebody else just because it's something that I wanted. That's just me personally.
I'm glad you said that, Hayward, because I was going to say I want to normalize instead of having hard stop. No, I can't do it. No compromise. I want to normalize this statement to say, like in this particular situation, Mario, your love for P is greater than your no for kids. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what Hayward just said, Tony's love for Hayward. Hayward's love for Tony. Hayward's love for Tony will be greater than, so then it cancels each other out. So then they're both just like, nope, no children, because both of you guys are loving each other greater than that need. But sometimes we don't do that. It's just, nope, this is the way it is. It's a hard no. You know what I mean? But it's just like, that's not realistic in life. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just, you just love something or want something just a little bit more, but it just decreases the other one, not just take it off the table. So,
right. Gotcha.
Yeah. My love for my daughter is greater. I got to look at my cousin for this. My love for my daughter is greater than my hate for my baby daddy. So therefore,
amen, sister. Amen.
So therefore, life presented that to me. Life presented a situation to me last year where that I had to prove that to myself, and I think that I passed that test with flying colors.
You might really quickly just expounding on what happened.
Yep, my daughter's father is an absolute hecky no, absolute no. I'm not dealing with no period, not even on your deathbed. So I thought. So yeah, my daughter's father was having an active heart attack, and my daughter is an hour away and she couldn't get here, but I was here. I was closest to him.
I remember that call. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was proud. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So then my perspective on things changed, and I'm like, okay, quit saying never, not never. Just say that something could be greater than the opposite. So yes, my disdain was not as great as my daughter's love, because I offered to. Do I have to put this in the universe like forever? Because this like video is gonna be like forever.
Right.
You offered to. You offered to where?
Yeah.
I offered to go to the hospital and sit with my daughter's father until my daughter could arrive.
And I don't know why she called me out, because the first thing I said is, why the fuck would you agree to that?
Yeah. That's what you said, Sherrod?
That's exactly what she said.
I thought it was
verbatim.
I was proud of her when she said it.
I mean, but I just
look at Kim's face.
And I said it like that. I said,
I'm proud of you.
I would have just called 911 and that would have been
I would
it.
have to call somebody else to do it.
Hey, well, what you say? You would have called 911. That would have been.
No, I was clarifying with Mama Kim and Ronnie. I said they would have just called 911 and called
911. You know what? It's funny.
Mama Kim was something supposed to happen. It was gonna happen whether she was there or not.
Wow.
I've had this conversation with my daddy yesterday. I said, I don't wish your daddy dead, but fuck that nigga. But I don't wish him dead because of you. Because I know if something happened to him, you would lose your mind. So I always wish him good health.
Your love for your child is greater than
makes me wish him good life.
Yeah.
Because
so, and the thing about it is, just like in reverse, where I was talking about Mario, P, and Tony, in reverse, my daughter's love and understanding for me is greater than BS because she didn't even ask me. That's the thing. That's the part of that is like the moment. Ariana never asked me. She never asked because she knows how I feel. So she never asked. But that cry, baby, that cry in my baby's voice, that worry in my baby's voice,
that's right.
To the side.
That's right.
That'll do it.
I said, Book. I'm about to get on my shoes and I'm just gonna go ahead and head up there. So when you can get here.
Hurry up. Don't stop and get gas.
Don't stop and get no gas. Don't take 52 down here if the highway seems like it might be backed up.
Man.
That is. I talk a bunch of shit. A bunch of shit, but I still ask the kids at least once a month still.
Did you talk to your dad?
I miss your dad, and he hasn't even seen this since 2019. Do y'all miss your dad? Do y'all want to reach out to him or something like that? Because I don't, like him said, they know how I feel. So I don't want them ever to want to see him or want to reach out and feel like they're afraid to ask. So I ask, y'all want to try to reach out to him? Do y'all want to pull up to his job to see him? I literally once a month, and they will tell you that I still ask. Now, are they tired of me asking? Yeah, because Sydney's like, he's the adult. Why are we doing this? No, we good. We ain't moved. We in the same spot. No, but
their brains are not mature enough. It's still developing, so you still have to assist.
I will still ask just to let them know that if you want to see him, it is okay.
Yes,
it is okay.
You have to give them that safe space.
Yes, but now I will say, every time I ask, it's like swallowing glass.
Yes, Lord.
But I still ask. I still ask. Like, do you want to see?
Stovall, you used to have. Did you just ask Aubrey on that?
I didn't ask. I actually pushed. Like, Boo, call your daddy. You got to go over there. Yeah. So, I pushed to do that because, because me and Chris thing is non and void. Like that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is their relationship. So I used to say, like, call your daddy. You got to go over there. Yeah. Now, if it falls through on his part, that's fine. But I know that I did what I feel a parent is supposed to do.
Let me tell you.
And I can't choose when I want to support. I can't say, "Oh, I'm your number one supporter," and then I let my emotions get in the way. You as a parent, guys, you guys just it's a selfless job, and you make so many sacrifices that you do not want to do. And I know, like right now in your life, like going to the gym, I gotta go to the gym. I don't want to. It's something else in your body that's like how you go back and forth with yourself about something you don't want to do. You do that too, but it has a different ingredient where you have to do it, and that's that.
I want to take a page from Stovall's book. Mr. Producer, can we make a note to talk about like whether or not, I guess, parents in situations like yours with your daughter's father, should you have been responsible for pushing her to call him versus him reaching out to contact her? Because I feel like oftentimes what happens in those situations is the child ends up being the responsible party to reach out to this other adult, and it's not on them. That's a good one, because my daughter's there now and she sees to you. I mean, we can discuss it, but she sees it.
But no, because Kim and Ronii, my parents on the panel, when I know one year it was Pierre's dad turned to have him for the summer. Pierre, and I was in school, so he was like, I'm not gonna call my mama. I'm over here for a reason. Pierre called my mom and said, come get me, because he didn't want to be over there.
Mm-hmm.
But his dad thought it was me. And I was like, no, I'm putting my kids in the position to be with you. If they want to be with you, and I think Pierre might have been 8, 6, 7, 8. He was still a little kid. But he called my mama, and my mom came and picked him up, and they stayed there he stayed there for a month. And his dad kept calling me like, hey, a mama boy. And I said, I didn't have anything to do with it. I didn't even know he called to get away.
Mm-hmm.
So I always left it open for my kids. This your dad. This his number. Call him. We never moved. We stayed in the same spot. So they could never say, your mama moved. She had a different number. It was always on them. And so my kids always saw that. They was always able to see that it was their daddy, not their mama.
And I made sure, again, like swallowing glass, I made sure that the kids knew that, because and they would see me trying. When I say see, like just they would from a young age, they would, because y'all gotta they're 14, about to be 16 now. When we separated, they were 2 and 4. So it's been some years. And I used to always be like, am I doing the right thing? Should I have stayed, or are they going to resent me? You know, why am I the bad guy? You know, and not so much with the twins, but with little Sydney, because that's how he was the oldest. So that's what he knew, you know? So my mom was always like, just like you did with your dad, they're going to see it on their own. You don't have to say a bad word about him. And sure enough, they just start by I think Mama Kim just said, like 8, 9, something like that. That's when it was kind of like,
they start to see it. Yeah. When I was going through it, and just to be honest and transparent too, when I was going through it, I was just trying to figure it out. I didn't know. But one thing that I did know, one thing that I felt like I was good then and good at now, is just human behavior. And I wasn't for sure. I wasn't confident if my daughter acted out or acted in the manner of what she felt from me, or was it really genuinely what she felt?
Right.
Especially me being younger and still trying to feel things out. I just didn't know. I wasn't confident in that. So in my mind, I had to cover that, because I didn't want that regret later on. Because I don't know, like, are you truly, Book, acting the way that you genuinely want to act? Or are you really picking up some sub energy from me? You know what I mean? And then acting accordingly. So, I just don't like regrets.
Oh, Lord Jesus. I think one of the things I probably would like to touch on in a later date is, like, do you stay for the kids?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a great discussion. Yeah.
I got a lot of thoughts on that, so that's a good one.
Oh, good topics, guys.
Dig into that.
Ooh, can we get an uplift, Hayward, baby?
Yeah.
We're still in the oven. This dry ass salmon, I'm about to make some jerky with.
Yeah, it was gonna be dry from the start anyway. It was gonna be dry. It's too sweet, too dry.
All right.
You on my time now.
Too sweet, too dry. Ain't that it? All right, we're gonna get into this.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, hold on. All right, Hayward, you have the floor.
All right, guys. So this week's uplift is coming from C.S. Lewis. And the quote is, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." Plain and simple. Easy. And I like that a lot. Just being in this space and just knowing, a lot of times I feel like at a certain age, we feel like we're kind of where we are and it's too late to try new things or to venture out and, just do something new. So I like it.
You're gonna make me print this off and send it anonymously to my parent.
What parent?
Exactly.
I mean, I didn't mean it like that. I'm
an orphan. I took it and I was okay with it.
I'm an orphan. I mean, yeah, I was okay with that too. You don't have to apologize.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just saying, like, who are you gonna send it to? But now I get it.
That's right.
That's another topic. Do you feel, oh yes, Mr. Producer, do you feel that sometimes, even though people push it, that sometimes the parent doesn't always need to be in the child's life because it's not a good thing sometimes?
Yeah.
That's a
well, yes, we can talk about that. Yes.
Hayward said absolutely.
And not even specifically.
Sometimes the parent doesn't need to always be in the child. Yeah. If it's a negative, toxic parent, should they be around, or is it okay if they're not? Because I have people that
they deserve,
but that will actually tell me, well, that's still their dad, so you still need to try to use it. And I'm like,
no.
Yeah,
but
no.
Yeah.
I definitely think it's on a per situation type of basis, and I definitely think safety freaking first.
Absolutely.
I definitely number one. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, good. Seems like we got some things to discuss for the future. Some good topics to discuss that'll really hit home for some of us. So that's good. That's good. So
yeah. Hey, we're great uplift. Yeah, I mean, literally, that got me thinking. Immediately, it took me to that generation because we'll get stagnant and we'll have something that sparks us and like, let's do something new. But there's one generation that I don't see that from. So that made me immediately think about that generation. So thanks.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll let Mama Kim get to this dry salmon. I mean, what did you put on it?
Don't you worry about it, sweetheart.
A little salt and pepper.
Police. That's how you cook.
Oh no! Everything I make is flavorful, honey.
Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. Please check out our handles if you need any kind of cooking tips. You see the handles to reach out to.
Yes.
Ain't that
and I'm drinking. I like to tell my drink. I'm sorry. Where are you at? This week is key lime Oliver. It's key lime flavor. I never had this. It's pretty good.
We can't give out free promotion.
Right.
Come on.
Edit that out.
It has a little tart, but not too tart, but it's really good. I'm trying to go to the middle.
Come on, Oliver. We are young, inspiring podcasters. Please pick us up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for a good discussion.
Thank you.
Everybody has a good night, a good week.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Good night.